Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
It is never the consultants alone who are getting stuff done. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. The companies that hire us and the clients that I work with, they has to be an innate belief that we're going to do this together.
Okay, Anirudh, I am a guy in my final year of undergrad and I'm appearing for CAT and I've got decent percentile. Okay, and now I'm going to get into one of the IIMs or whatever decent B school I'll get into. I want to build a career in consulting. Okay, what do I do in the 2 years while I am on campus? How do I prepare to becoming a good consultant?
Let me actually, Kunj, I'll answer your question. But let me actually first say how I thought about my MBA, right? I was an engineer. Um, I was a very good school student, right? School made like very good marks. I got into engineering DC and I like, okay, now I'm done, right? I will now have fun in life. And that's what I did. I had a lot of fun. My engineering, halfway through engineering, my percentage was one which would have barely gotten me shortlisted for jobs at that point in time. By the end of it, I caught up, but that's kind of where I was. When I entered B school, that changed. I like, okay, now this is my final degree. Let me make the most of it. And let me make the most of it not just in academics, but on a whole variety of things. One, I loved my B school subjects. The thing that you will realize, those of you who go and attend B school, is this is not like engineering. How many of you are engineers? Excellent. Whether you're an engineer or some of the non-engineering graduation courses, it's kind of a set path. Where in the fourth year, at least those time, by fourth year, mein, there were like two electives, three electives that you could choose between. In MBA, it's completely different. So first year we had common subjects, and the subjects range from economics to finance to behavior, organizational behavior, and behavioral science. So these are like really wide range of subjects that you're learning. Second year is completely elective. I don't know how many of you know this. There is not, at least in IMC, there is not one course that everybody needed to take. So what I study in my second year is dependent on me. And what I decided was I will study what I want to study, which was economics. So I studied economics, I studied strategy to some extent, but largely as many economics courses that I could take up, I took. And I still love that. Right? I enjoyed my first year. Well, I loved my second year. I actually went on exchange and I did a course in philosophy. And that is one of the most meaningful courses I've done over time. Right? So I would say consulting pe aate hain. But before that, those of you who choose to do this in a manner where you're just not going to another college and another hostel, but do this in a manner that you can get the most out of these 2 years. I was asked to organize a few fests. I'd already done that at DC. I was asked, do you want to become something, a position of responsibility at MBA? I actually said, I want to go on exchange and I want to see the world. And not just go on exchange and travel, but I want to go on exchange, travel, and learn how colleges are run outside of India, what kind of courses are there. And I did that. Right. So I would say just make the most of that. Do take these 2 years and do everything that you wanted to, because it does give you the opportunity. As far as consulting is concerned, after that, look, the skills that we look for are kind of three, which is, one is, are you a good problem solver? Whatever the problem, will you at least start solving it, or will you say, yaar pata nahi kaise hoga,
या क्रिप करूंगा उसके बारे में
crib karoge ya kahoge beko nahi pata, I don't know where to start. So that's kind of just one, right? Being able to say, I don't know this problem, but I'll be able to figure it out. That's skill one. It's called problem solving in a parlance, but that's one. All through MBA, you're going to end up doing that. You're going to get such out of the whack problems that you'll need to solve. You will develop that skill. The second is, how do you communicate? If you have the most brilliant idea and you cannot get it across, it is of no use, right? So having the brilliant idea, which is problem solving, can you then get it across and communicate? And that's the other thing that MBA will teach you. What I would suggest is, take the opportunity to present. Take the opportunity to put yourself out there in class, in front of your classmates, in competitions, and whatever else opportunity that you get, because the first 10 times you might be bad, the 11th time you'll be better. right? And that's kind of one of the things that you need to do. Don't get me wrong, there were a few people who said मेरे को finance करना है, मेरे को trading desk के पीछे बैठना है, मैं सिर्फ finance की कोशिश करूंगा, I will be technically competent, but I will not do the flair of the presentation. It's not for me, right? And then there were others like me who I was not a good presenter. I still get stage fright. I still do, right? But
You don't seem to be getting it.
yeah, but I still do, right? But at that point of time, it was not as easy. But just putting yourself out there and learning, that's the second thing that I would suggest that you do. And the third thing that we look at is something called effectiveness and impact. Are you driven? Can you do you have the passion, do you have the energy to carry stuff through, or do you take it and let it be, right? This is too hard, I can't do this. And that's the third thing that you will see, and wo sikha denge. The sieving that happens in the first two semesters, in the first two trimesters, is very stark. People who will end up with very good jobs, who will end up at the top 50, 60, 70 ranks, there's a high amount of correlation, and that high amount of correlation is because of, I think, this third one, which is, do you have the energy and the wherewithal to bear what is going to come? And I think it is really exciting. It's a trial by fire, but the people who make it through just do very, very well.
We had your wife Aditi with us last year. She's here. She has her own hardcore career at Google. A lot of time spent there. I know she knows what question I'm going to ask. And the consulting life, from what I hear or what I see from a distance, is not easy. There's a lot of time that goes into it. And you guys have a twin daughters now. How do you figure out a life 10 years down the line, into your job, into your career? You want to do big things, but now there is a serious personal life, there are commitments to family. How does a professional manage these things, and how do you do it?
Ask for a lot of help. There is no shame in asking for help. Please do. At least what we did was, we were in Bombay. We were in Bombay in 6 years. My entire client base was there. Everybody I was working with was there. Aditi was working there as well, and so she was in a stable job. And we decided, okay, we will start a family. I think we'll be able to manage. Everybody else has been able to manage. And then we go for this ultrasound, and we figure out that we're having twins. Oh shit. And I see this before she does, right? So I sit down, and she's like, "What happened?" Like, no, nothing. And so the guy's like, "Okay, baby A, baby B," and we both look at each other like, "Oh shit, we're screwed." What we did was, we were both born and brought up in Delhi. We were trying to get back to Delhi for a long time and just were not managing.
Both of you were DC, right? Is that
we
where you
both-
guys met?
Yes, that's
Ah.
right. That's where we both met. But we were both in Delhi, and then we said, look, so option one of us stays home. Option two, our kids get neglected. Option three, move back to Delhi. And please, let's just go and say, Mom, Dad, you told us to have kids. Now we have kids. Please handle them. And that's kind of what we did. But look, on a more serious note, so that's one, which is ask for help. But Kunj, I think the other thing is, especially my career is important, but it's like one of the slice of a pizza. It's just
Does
a
consulting let you do that?
Yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, it does. And it's a lot about the personal choices that you make. But yeah, it's a slice of a pizza. It's not the full pizza. You will have your personal life. You will have other things that you like to do. I love to travel. I love to vacation. I actually count my years not in what projects did I deliver or how much money I made or what did I do at work, but in about how many places did I travel, what new places did I see, how many times did I go scuba diving, right? Or something like that. So it's kind of taking a broader picture, and once you do that, you will end up making the right set of decisions around your career and around your personal life to kind of keep it a balance.
Why do you think a consultant is better placed to figure out company strategy when he's not worked for a single day in that company or in that sector for that matter?
It is never the consultants alone who are getting stuff done. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. The companies that hire us and the clients that I work with, they has to be an innate belief that we're going to do this together, which means that they are bringing the knowledge of their company. I will, of course, gain it over time, but they're bringing the knowledge of their company. I am bringing in external best practices. I'm also bringing in functional expertise that they will not have. To understand the industry, it's not very hard. If take whatever industry, you take the auto industry, take power industry, you can kind of get the hang of what the industry is about 6 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Has that time also shortened for you over time?
Yes,
Getting the hang of industry.
yeah, but the point that I'm making is a little different. Getting functional expertise is really hard. Somebody who knows supply chain in and out, somebody who knows sales in and out is really hard. That takes years. That takes 2 3 years of you doing that continuously for that to work. If somebody's figuring out how do I do sales better, it doesn't matter whether he's from my industry or not, right? It can be from 5 different industries. The FMCG guy can do the same thing in a B2C bazaar company and so on. But that's kind of the expertise that you're getting. Don't mistake this. When I was the my in my first project, whatever I did, I was supported by a lot of experts within BCG and outside, right? Me going there without BCG, or forget the brand name, just without the experts, I would not have been able to do even a fraction of what I did. So you're not hiring the grad school students fresh out of college. What you're hiring this massive machinery which is going to be able to leverage and get expertise from wherever in the world. When I did the power sector thing that I'm talking about, where people said, what do they know? This happened. We got down experts from Russia who'd done this before. We got down experts on the transmission side from Hungary who'd done this before and had done this for 5 years running across different companies. And there is no match for that experience. The enemy of getting better is incrementality. The guy who's in the company can make incremental progress, but somebody from outside can just say this is just completely the different way that this can be done.
All right. Thanks a lot, Anirudh.